Trinity would be revealed as the One, and Neo would not do anything. That's definitely not what happens in the film. So, can we explain this within the films and not through the politics of the creators? Well, there are two problems. One is the One as a myth was already discarded in Matrix Reloaded. If you paid close attention to the architect and his speech, and admittedly many people did not because it's really weird and boring, but if you go through it enough times carefully, he basically says the One was just a system of control. It doesn't really exist.
Because the prophecy of the One was a lie.
That's impossible. The prophecy tells us.
It was a lie, Morpheus. The prophecy was a lie.
So Trinity can't be the One because the One never existed. But in terms of Neo, the question is, well, how does he have these powers? And the answer is, he has the anomaly code in his body, and presumably Trinity has some of that anomaly code. The question is, how does she have this anomaly code? Well, again, it's not a huge leap, or it doesn't take that much explaining, because this happened to Smith when Neo destroyed him in the first Matrix. Essentially, part of the anomaly code was caught on by him, it infected him, and he was able to access abilities he couldn't before. So Neo can, quote, share the anomaly code, but he can only do it in certain circumstances, right? In that case, he was really intensified with his powers, and he was extremely angry, and he merged or absorbed Smith. Within Matrix Reloaded, we also see that Neo literally dives into Trinity's body and restarts her heart. There's also some added factors that both Trinity and Neo are not fully human, right? They have those implants. And in Matrix Resurrections, this aspect of them having implants or being hybrids, is even strengthened, right? Because the machines are repairing them, but they can't repair their human bodies fully, so they have to replace a lot of their human parts with machine parts. So when we put it together, it's really not hard to understand how or why she has all these powers. So Trinity having, quote, new abilities or enhanced abilities is explained through Reloaded if you look at the scenes carefully, and if we follow the dialogue with the architect, the Oracle, and even Agent Smith. So through the lore, this isn't really a big deal. But is there a political message? Some people were complaining that throughout the whole film, Neo is constantly taking orders from women and is deferring to them. First, that's not true. I mean, take the obvious case, Bugs, who's a major female in the story, mostly looks up to him. She listens to him. She's following his orders and wants to follow his lead. So that's just not true. So Neo is not just, quote, following the orders of the women. But he does do so sometimes with Sati or with Trinity. But even in those cases, he doesn't agree all the way. He's told by Niobe, you're going to have to forget Trinity. Don't go back into the Matrix. We don't want to restart the war. He disobeys her. He's not just following orders from women. So in terms of Trinity having new powers, does this signify that Neo has no role? Well, we don't know. The ending is a little weird. It seems both of them are going to remake the Matrix together. But we don't know because that's the ending of the story. So we don't know where they're going to go with this. But I don't sense anything where Neo had not enough power and Trinity had too much power. She only shows power literally at the very end of the film. So for most of the film, it's Neo showing his power, Morpheus showing his power, and even Bugs showing some power. But Trinity's not really involved with that directly until the very end. So I don't sense anything overt in terms of the mythology being ruined. It is already explained in the other films. So was there some woke agenda being inserted? If there is, it's really, really subtle. I mean, some people also pointed out that Neo doesn't use any guns, but he doesn't use guns in Reloaded or Revolutions either. He doesn't have to. He's so well trained, he just uses many other weapons. So I'm sure there was a political agenda, but was there an agenda to replace Neo as the One? No, they did that already with Reloaded. They already deconstructed the One. They already showed it was a propaganda instrument. If people still want the myth of the One, I understand that, but it's only going to be in the first film. If you want to stay with the first film, that's fine, but you shouldn't be mad if other fans want to move on from the first film and embrace the other films. But if you are going to embrace the other films, you are going to have to give up the myth of the One. I don't know why so many fans still think there is the One, But there's not, at least if you pay attention closely to the whole trilogy and Matrix Resurrections.